Come with me on my trip to Daytona. This is my first time here, so you know I had to go to Daytona Beach to take in the sights and walk the famous sands. Immediately after that, we booked it to Daytona International Speedway, and I knew the track was big because it's a super speedway, but when I tell you my jaw dropped to the floor when I walked up to the facility, like the TV does not do it justice at all. I loved learning bits and pieces about this facility, such as there's no truly flat part of this track. It's all intentionally banked because in Florida, it rains quite a bit. And back then when the track was created, there were no jet dryers, so the track was intentionally banked all the way around, even on the straightaways, to allow water to leave the track. And to create some of that banking, Bill France made a 29-acre man-made lake called Lake Lloyd. He named this after one of his business partners, and what they took from that lake was then used to make the high banking around this track. A little Easter egg, something I thought was cool, is that if you look closely on pit road, you'll notice that there's not a pit stall numbered 13. Bill France was incredibly superstitious, so instead there are stalls 12 and stalls 12A. After looking at all of that, we moseyed over to Victory Lane, and funny enough, the building behind Victory Lane is rented out for proms. Even weddings are held here, and if you think this track is just for racing, think again. They host a lot of different events within the infield area, such as concerts, football, and much more year-round. Something I appreciate is that this track is accessibility friendly with 38 pairs of escalators and 13 elevators, and I know going up to the stands that there was an option to take the escalator up, but I simply just did not. I wanted to take the challenge of walking up these bad boys, and I should have counted the number of stairs it took to get there, but I did not do that. This track has 101,000 seats. Many are newly added from a $450 million project in the 2010s called Daytona Rising. So many people wanted to watch the amazing racing in person, but the track didn't have enough seats for that demand, and I would say now they definitely do. Afterwards, we toured the museum at the track, and it's more than just NASCAR. It's literally anything that's ever raced at Daytona and more. And on display, they have this year's Daytona 500 winning car, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. This place had so many pieces of history and knowledge that was so fun to just go around and look at these replica cars, these actual cars, the demonstrations of how safety has changed over time. It was such an amazing experience just kind of walking through. And of course, before we left, I made sure to stop by the Dale Sr. statue and had to look at the Daytona 500 Champions Walk of Fame. This tour was jam-packed with information, and there's a lot more that I saw that I didn't talk about here, but this was such an incredible time at Daytona. I can't wait to go back.